So whatever I am sharing, is it visible to all of you? Is the screen is visible? Write in the chat box. Okay, thank you. See, every time I'm not going to stop sharing to admit anyone. So you have to be present within time. Before 5 minutes, actually, you can join the through the link. Okay. So we are going to start with the actual what is EMF actually. It is also called as this is also called as EME. Can anyone tell me the full form of EMF? Can anyone tell me the full form of EMF? Yes, you can write in the chat box. Is electromagnetic field. So if you observe this word, if you observe this word is made up of two different words. One is the electric, and second one is the magnetic field. This electromagnetic field is nothing but the combination of electric and magnetic field. Okay. So here, initially, what our syllabus we have planned in our syllabus is initially we are going to discuss electrostatic fields, and then we'll discuss about the electrostatic fields and magnetostatic fields. So before going to discuss this electrostatic and magnetostatic fields, we should know thorough knowledge about the vector algebra, and coordinate system. And this is how your syllabus is designed. We'll initially our first unit will discuss about the vector algebra and coordinate system. After second unit, we'll discuss the electrostatic fields and magnetostatic fields. Okay. So we'll start directly with the vector and vector algebra. You already know the concept of vectors, scalars and vectors. Okay. So can anyone define what do you mean by a scalar quantity? To which thing we can call as a scalar? Okay, scalar is defined as it gives us only magnitude. You are correct, Swapnil. It gives us only magnitude. Can you give some examples? Can you list out some examples? Which are the examples of a scalar quantity? Area, length, okay. Then pressure, yes. Can we say force is a scalar quantity? Yes, you are correct. Some are saying area, some are saying length, some of you are saying pressure, then density. These are the some of the examples of a scalar quantity. Okay, it gives only magnitude. But there are few things which can be described through magnitude or which need to describe with magnitude and direction. Okay, and this is called as, can you tell me what is this called as? Yes, yes. So this is called as a vector quantity. Vector quantities are described with both magnitude and direction. Okay, okay. Then now you list out few examples for these vector quantities. Yes, what are the examples? Yes, velocity, displacement, then force. Okay, acceleration, yes, force, yes. So these are the few examples of a vector quantity. Okay, so why we need to, and if you observe throughout this our syllabus, we need to deal with the vector quantities. Okay, whenever we are dealing with any field, every time you should know its magnitude as well as a directionals. Okay, so for vectors we can define a vector in such a way that a vector is directed from suppose one point to the another point. If suppose this is a vector, its direction is shown by this arrow. Okay, so this vector can be represented as, so vector can be represented as what? See, some of you already the vectors you have learned. Okay, so you can represent vector in this way. There are different methods. So this is a vector AB. It can be represented by putting a bar over these two letters AB, or putting an arrow over this, or putting a cap over this. Okay, so which representation we are going to use here? So every time, okay, we are going to use the representation as AB bar. In in few books, these vectors are represented by a bold letter and the scalar is represented by a normal letter. Okay, So whenever there is a bold letter in a book and nothing is written over it, you can say this is a vector. Okay, but for our simplicity, we are going to refer this abbreviation. Okay, this method, a bar over any letter, it will represent that vector. Okay, so this is a vector. If you observe this, we can say, can you tell me which is the start point and end point of this vector, whatever I have drawn here? Whatever I have drawn here, which one is the start point of this vector and which one is the end point? Yes, it starts at point A and ends at point B. Okay, and therefore it is represented as AB bar. If it starts at B and ends at A, then that vector can be represented by BA bar. Okay, so the first letter of this will indicate the start point and last letter will indicate the end point. All of you understood this? All of you understood this? Okay, so we can write this vector as vector is equal to, as it deals with the two quantities, one is the magnitude and second one is the direction. So magnitude into direction. Okay, for our case we can say vector AB is equal to magnitude of vector AB. This is the standard method. We can put that vector in mod, so it will give us magnitude, and unit vector in the direction of AB. This part, which part? See, this is the unit vector. Okay, so can you tell me what is the magnitude of this unit vector? Can anyone tell me? Magnitude of unit vector is how much? What this A bar B bar is? This is the unit vector in the direction of vector AB. Okay, so magnitude of unit vector is, I'll write this in this way only, is 1. Its name gives us the answer. What I call this is a unit vector. That means its magnitude is 1. Okay, so always the magnitude of unit vector is 1. Okay, and standard method to represent a unit vector, actually unit vector is represented by A. Okay, small a. Okay, if the unit vector is in the direction of suppose vector P, so it is represented by AP bar. Okay, all of you understood this? All of you understood this? Please write in the chat box so that I could understand. Okay, so from this equation, I'll name this as this equation number 1. So from equation 1, we can find out the value of unit vector AB bar, which is equal to, from this equation, can you tell me AB bar? Unit vector AEB bar is equal to vector AB divided by magnitude of vector AB. Is it right? Vector AB divided by magnitude of vector AB. So vector divided by its magnitude gives us unit vector. Okay. Okay. Now what we'll do here, we'll assume that this point A, okay, this point A, suppose, is located at x1, y1, z1 location, and point B is at x2, y2, z2 location, and we want to find out a vector connecting these 2 points AB. Okay, so how to find out that vector? I'll redraw that diagram here also, so that this is a point A, point B. Point A is located at x1, y1, z1 location. Point B is located at x2, y2, z2 location. And I want to know the vector connecting these 2 points, that is vector AB. So how to find out this vector AB? Okay, how to find out? So this vector AB is equal to, okay, endpoint, coordinate of endpoint minus coordinate of start point. So if you observe this, x2 minus x1. Okay, we are going to find out vector, so we need to write the direction also. So this x2 and x1, these are the coordinates in which direction? कोणत्या direction मधले coordinates आहेत हे? x, y, z. These two are in x direction. So we have to write unit vector in the direction of x. Okay. Plus y2 minus y1 unit vector in the direction of y. Plus z2 minus z1 unit vector in the direction of z. So when the 2 points are given and if you are asked to find out the vector connecting these 2 points, you have to follow this method. Okay, end point minus start point multiplied by unit vector in that particular direction. Okay, all of you understood this? I'll name this equation as equation number 2. Then now I want to find out its magnitude also. So unit vector, magnitude of vector AB. How to find out this? It can be find out as under root of x2 minus x1 bracket square plus y2 minus y1 bracket square plus z2 minus z1 bracket square. All of you noting it down, no? Okay. Now we have our vector, we have our magnitude of that particular vector. So we can find out its unit vector also. Okay. So we'll solve one example based on this simple concept. Find vector AB if suppose the point A is located at 2, 1, 3 and point B is located at 4, 6, 2. Okay, find vector AB and unit vector. also unit vector AB. So first of all, we'll try to find out vector AB. Vector AB is equal to, from this equation number 2, x2 minus x1. Just tell me what is the value of x2 and x1 in this given example. What is the value of x2 and x1 in the given example? x2 is 4, yes, and x1 is 2. So 4 minus 2, unit vector in the direction of x, plus y2 is 6 minus 1 ay bar, plus 2 minus 3 az bar. Solve this, so you'll get the vector. Okay, so the vector we are getting is 2x bar plus 5 ay bar minus az bar. Is it right? Is it right? Okay. So are we getting same answer? Now what is asked in the next part of this example is we have to find out unit vector AB bar. We have to find out unit vector AB bar. So to find out unit vector AB bar, according to the definition of unit vector AB bar, it is the vector divided by its magnitude. So we have this value, we don't have calculated this value. So we'll calculate first this magnitude of vector AB. It is equal to under root of 2 square plus 5 square plus 1 square. So 4 plus 25 plus 1, so root 30. So magnitude of this vector we are getting, it is root 30. So unit vector AB is equal to, vector AB is 2x bar plus 5ay bar minus az bar divided by root 30. Okay? All of you understood this? Are you getting? Unit vector AB is equal to 2ax bar plus 5ay bar minus az bar divided by root 30. So this is about the concept of vectors. Next part is about the vector algebra, addition, subtraction. Suppose there are two vectors, vector A and B. Okay, suppose this is the vector A, this is the vector B. So we can add these two vectors and we can get the resultant by using two methods. One is the parallelogram rule and second is the head to tail rule. So first one, parallelogram rule. In this is suppose vector A, this is vector B. We have to complete parallelogram. First of all, complete this parallelogram, and this is your resultant vector, which is C bar equal to A bar plus B bar. Second rule is the head to tail rule. Here, this is vector A. From the head of this vector A, will connect or will draw another vector or the second vector, vector B, and connect these two vectors from the tail of the vector A to the head of the vector C, and this is our resultant, that is vector C equal to A bar plus B bar. Okay, and these vectors follows commutative and associative laws. That means vector A bar plus B bar is equal to B bar plus A bar. This is our commutative law. What about associative law? Suppose there are three vectors, vector A, B and C. These three are added together in this way, which is equal to A bar plus B bar plus C bar. Okay. Vector subtraction also can be done. This A bar minus B bar can be obtained by A bar plus minus of B bar. That means you have to reverse this vector B. Okay. Now, suppose I have vector A as ax bar plus ay bar plus az bar, and vector B as bx ax bar plus by bar plus bz az bar. If you want to add these two vectors, a bar plus b bar, you can add this as ax plus bx x bar plus ay plus by ay bar plus az plus bz az bar. Okay. Similarly for subtraction, so this is about vector addition and subtraction. All of you understood this? Please write in the chat box. Okay. So if two vectors are given to you, or 2 to 3 different points are given to you, we'll solve example based on this during next lecture. Okay. We'll go towards next point, which is about the product of the vectors. Mhm. So again, we can multiply two different vectors, or we can take the product of two different vectors. There are two methods or two ways. One is the scalar product, which is also called as the dot product. And second one is the vector product, or it is also called as the cross product. Okay. So we'll discuss one by one. First we'll discuss the dot product. Suppose there are two vectors, vector A and vector B. So the dot product of these two vectors can be given written as or represented as vector A dot producted with vector B, and from the definition it is given as A bar dot B bar is equal to AB cos theta. Okay, so this is vector A, this is vector B, and this is the angle between these two vectors. Okay, so this A is the magnitude of vector A, B is the magnitude of vector B, and theta is the angle between vector A and vector B. Okay, so there are different cases. If suppose vector A and B are parallel, vector A is parallel, I'll draw here. Vector A and B are parallel. So what will be their dot product? Can anyone tell me? So to find out this dot product, we should know the theta. So theta in this case is 0, and cos 0 is equal to how much? 1. So we'll put this value in this equation. So AB cos 0, AB cos 0 is 1. So the result is ABS. Okay. Suppose next case, these two are perpendicular to each other. Now you are going to tell me the answer. Okay. First case is A and B are parallel. Second case is vector A and vector B are perpendicular to each other. I'll draw the diagram. This is vector A, this is vector B. These two are perpendicular. So A by the dot product of in between these two vectors will be equal to how much? Yes, it is 0. Exactly. You are correct. Now third case, we'll assume these two vectors are opposite to each other. If suppose this is vector A, this is vector B, these two are opposite to each other, then what will be the value of A bar dot B bar? Yes, exactly. It is minus AB. Why minus AB? Because theta in this case is pi, 180 degree. And you find out the value of cos 180 or cos pi, it is minus 1. All of you understood this? Now next one is dot product of